What it do, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Axis of Combat podcast, episode 46, where we're talking 299. I'm one of your co-hosts, Ray Boogie, Ray from the AO, my co-host.
Hugo the boss, Hugo got next. You already know. And before we get into any of the, usual business, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody enjoying these visuals right now, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay up to date.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, you already know. And in addition to the UFC 299 card, we're also going to discuss the Francis Ngannou Anthony Joshua card, which is co-headlined by Joe Parker and Zhilei Zhang. Great fight card as well. Two banger co-main and main event cards for this weekend. Keep in mind as well that the Francis and what's homeboy he's fighting, Francis and Anthony Joshua card is going to be on Friday afternoon. So it's not going to be a Saturday card. So, but before we get into any of that, we're going to recap some of our bets. I'll go first very quickly. Keep in mind, I'll let you know when the long shots come on. A lot of these are long shots. So we'll start there actually. Duncan knockout round 3. Basharat sub round 2. Basharat sub round 3. Anders sub. Anders round 2 and round 3. Urseg round 3. Perez decision. Petrino round 2. Petrino round 3. Rosenstruck round 1 and round 2. I also missed on the parlay. Urseg, those are all the long shots. Now the parlay is Urseg sub decision, Nurmagomedov sub decision, Makaev sub decision. Damn it, I should have taken Urseg just ITD because Schnell has a disgraceful chin, to be frank, at this point. And Basharat decision, which is the biggest loss of the night for me. Outside of that, I hit Duncan's knockout. Rosenstrike, I made a live bet on his money line at plus money. Duncan's knockout round 2, and then Urseg round 2. So, came out with a positive night. Sounds like a lot, but positive night. And barely, but it's a win's a win, baby. Let's get it. How about you, bro?
For me, it's about more or less the same. I'll start with the long shots like you did. Obviously, L's first. Duncan KO round 3. Basharat sub round 2 and 3. Sopai sub. Anders sub. Anders round 2 and 3. Urseg round 3. Perez decision. Perez sub. Pedro sub. And Pedro's round 2, or not Pedro, Petrino round 2 and 3. The parlay, same parlay. The Urseg leg was the ball buster. And the only straight I got wrong, same straight my brother did. Basharat decision. 1.35 down the drain. Started off rough. Rosenstruck kind of revived us.
Duncan was nice.
Hit that Duncan KO.
Duncan, we should have thrown my money on. I felt it too, man.
Oh yeah. Ugh. Those are my two straights, the Rosenstruck and the Duncan. Also Duncan round 2, I decided to double dip. And then the Urseg round 2. So, I mean, overall, barely positive. You got to take our dubs where we can get them. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we do better on this next card here. But, hey, a win's a win, baby. You feel me?
Correct. And before we jump into the UFC 299 card, we're going to start with the Francis and Anthony Joshua card because that's coming up this Friday. So for all the podcast listeners, it should be a short listen before you get to this point, which is good. What do you think about this fight, my brother?
I mean, listen, it's pretty binary. Obviously, Ngannou, I'm rooting for the boy. I'm happy with all the success that Ngannou's been, having. He's been living the dream. Anthony Joshua, man, listen, I'm not high on him as a heavyweight boxer, but I mean, this should be an Anthony Joshua win here. I am rooting for Ngannou. I don't know if I want to bet this particular fight at the moment, but that's the way I kind of just see it. I mean, Ngannou, I'm rooting for. Anthony should win. I mean, it's pretty open and shut, I feel like. I think it's going to be a good fight. And the co-main with
Zhang and
Big
Joe
Bang,
Parker.
Zhang and Parker. Listen, I'm a fan of the Zhang of Big Bang. But Parker's a bad motherfucker too, so it's like The co-main is for me is the real main event. The main event is
spectacle.
It's good popcorn time for me. You know what I'm saying? Good card overall. I think the undercard. I think they got like 2 more championship fights on the card. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm with you on this card. I'm actually a little more enthused about the main event than you are because Anthony Joshua does not have a good chin, and I don't know if Francis is gonna get him out of there. But what I will say is that if Anthony Joshua is not on his P's and Q's, Francis will get him out of there. This is not like a Tyson Fury situation where he can take a shot and then win a decision. Tyson Fury is built different from Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua cannot take a shot like Tyson Fury can. And what I will say is they have the money line and the knockout for Francis pretty lined closely. I might take a stab low-key at Francis's decision because it's plus 20. It's like plus 2,000 on some books. Plus. So...
2,000?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think seeing one line plus 2,200 as decision. And the thing is, if he knocks him down 3 times, there's a good argument for him winning the fight. He may not finish him, but listen, if he gets him down, he might stop him too. All I'm saying is I think Francis at heavyweight boxing, especially Anthony Joshua, who is, I understand, like I think he went to, I don't know if he went to the Olympics. I'm not too sure about that. I think he probably did, but he did start late. I do know that for sure. This is not like a guy who's a seasoned boxer that's been fighting since he was a child. Heavyweight boxing, the room for error is just, there's so much more of a permissible space for the room for error. And with someone who hits like Francis, I think Francis is going to be quicker than him. Francis is going to be heavier than him.
I mean, that's part of the allure. I mean, Francis he's got that one hit quitter. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got the equalizer.
Correct. And the thing is, I think even Tyson was just surprised by his boxing savvy. So, like I said, I think if he can hit Tyson Fury, he can hit Anthony Joshua. That's where I'm at with it. I don't think, I just think plus 320, why not sprinkle half a unit? Why not?
I don't know. I see it a little different only because I just don't think, Anthony Joshua seeing what happened with the last fight with Ngannou, so I don't think he's going to be in there taking Ngannou lightly like Tyson did. Tyson came in overweight. He wasn't taking that shit serious. He's preparing for Usyk.
Correct.
Or, he was getting ready to prepare for Usyk. But, so, I can see it, but I just feel like this is, I don't know. I'm not as amped for this one as I was the Tyson Fury one.
Yeah, listen, I'm on my shit right now like Michael Caine in The Dark Knight when he was looking at the, Bane footage. Look at the speed, the veracity. You know what I'm saying? Look at the speed, the veracity on him. The power. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at with Francis right now. And you want the real? I just think he's Joshua. I have less questions about Joshua in this fight, especially after his last performance. But I think there's still a good chance Francis can catch his chin. I really believe that. And Francis doesn't have to hit you clean. He can hit you on any part of your head and knock you down. The same way he did Fury. Caught him with a hook too. He didn't even wind up into the punch. But the reason he could only hit Fury with the punch like that is because Fury leaves himself open on the exits. Like that. AJ has more holes. So I could see Francis landing a straight right on him and putting him down. So don't be surprised if I throw half a unit on it. But the real fight, the real competitive fight is the co-main. And I think that one's a little harder to talk about because...
Yeah, I got to do tape on that one.
Yeah.
More tape before I could give a definitive read on it,
This second half of the career for Joe Parker has been his better part of the career. And I thought Deontay would... Don't get me wrong. I think if Deontay Wilder was prepared his last fight the way he was for all of his other fights, I think he knocks him out. I really believe that. But this guy, the ayahuasca Deontay, is not the one. I think his days of boxing are over. Like, he needs to just hang it up.
Yeah, he wasn't looking too hot in there, bro.
He just doesn't look like the same killer.
Yeah.
And that's where Francis...
He don't get that same motivation,
Francis still has that motivation.
Oh, yeah, Francis is going in there. He's taking this shit serious.
He's coming to kill.
Yes.
Zhilei Zhang, coming to kill.
Yes.
And the thing is with him, I got to do a little more tape on it because Zhilei did knock out Joe Joyce, but Joe Joyce is a very stationary, very hittable target. Joe Parker has developed a certain level of boxing savvy, and Zhang is 40 years old. So there might be a lot of value on Joe Parker as a dog here. But I agree. I want to give a little bit more, but study before I give a pick on that. But what I will say is I think France is going to get a half a unit for me. just on principle, because I just do not trust Anthony Joshua's chin. If you look at how Francis put his combinations together last fight, you think he's going to deviate from that? You think Joshua's going to try to walk him down and pressure him and make him make mistakes? Joshua has been fighting with that like that recently, but against guys who are not excessively big punchers.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I could just see him just straight up just dancing around the ring and just boxing.
Outboxing,
just boxing him, you know?
Sure, I'll give you that.
Just playing it safe.
I agree. But Francis, the bigger, faster, stronger, quicker, and less shop worn, to be frank, and better chin. Then there's a lot of reasons to like Francis in this fight, especially at plus 320. And I'm like, I'll take a shot at it. Will he win? Probably not. But if he dropped Joshua, would you be surprised?
No.
I might play that too. I want to see what the line is for that. And then I might sprinkle $1 just on the plus 2,000 prop for him by decision. Why not? Because if he drops him 2 or 3 times, that's an argument for him winning the fight, which I think is possible. Joshua might drop him. But if Joshua doesn't drop him, he has to put himself into the line of fire to get Francis down. I don't know if he's going to do that. I think he's in a pity pat. I agree with you. I think he's in a stance. He's going to probably win this by decision, Joshua. He's going to just stay on the outside, stay safe, make sure he doesn't get hit, try to pick him apart, and, get this to the scorecards where he'll win because of, corrupt boxing judges. But if Francis drops him 3 times, there's a real argument for him winning this fight. So, even twice. So.
I can see both guys dropping each other.
Correct. Big punches in there, so. But, yeah, that's where I'm at with it. How you feel about it?
I already get my feelings.
Good. On to UFC 299. What you got for me, brother? Let's get into it.
Well, UFC 299 taking place in Miami, Florida, in the Casena Center. This Saturday, 14 fights. Top to bottom, I mean, you could make a real argument that
best card of the year.
Fight for fight, this is definitely one of the best cards of the year. I think the prelims, if you're comparing this to like the 300 card, for instance, I think the 300's got the prelims beat. But I think main card,
yeah,
you can make an argument this card might be slightly better. Slightly.
There's bangers on this card.
Good fights, top to bottom. There's maybe like 1 or 2 duds in here. Maybe. I don't even think so. No, I think that's, yeah. A lot of interesting fights. Hopefully there's some playable lines.
Let's do it.
I'm ready to jump right into it.
Let's do it.
First fight. Flyweight women. Joanne Wood, JoJo, going one-on-one with, how do you say her name?
Maryna Moroz.
Maryna Moroz, the Iron Lady. JoJo 16-8, fighting out of Scotland, 38 years old. Moroz 11-5, fighting out of the Ukraine, 32 years old. This fight is a run back. I think it was Moroz's debut, and I think Wood's second fight in the UFC, where Moroz beat her by first round armbar, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Watching that fight and then kind of just watching their progression, I feel like Moroz kind of fights more or less the same. I feel like she really hasn't evolved her game. She's bread and butter. She's got the boxing background. She's developed her grappling, developed her submission game. JoJo on the wrong end of 38. Very old. Looks like she's lost a step.
Poor JoJo.
To be fair, I mean, she's like before her last win, she was on a 3-fight losing streak. And I mean, again, to be fair, she was fighting pretty much the creme of the creme, trying to get that title shot. This is confirmed, I think, her retirement fight.
Correct.
I'm going to lean Moroz here as a pick. I just think she's a little faster on the feet, but
minus 230.
Minus 230 is a little nuts, and I think Wood.
This fight's gonna be close.
I feel like Wood's game has evolved so much since they first fought, like in 2014. I feel like Wood. I think strike for strike. I think the majority of this fight probably takes place standing. I think Wood hits harder. I think Wood might be a live dog here. As long as nobody goes to the ground, I think Wood probably, she wants her lick back, in my opinion.
agree.
That's the way I feel. I think she's gonna try to get this win. She might be the dog play. I'm gonna lean Moroz because technically she's the better fighter and she's been cooking lately. But that's the way I feel about this fight.
I agree 100%. I feel this the same way about the other women's fight that's coming up later that we're going to discuss in this card between Katlyn Chookagian and Maycee Barber. I think this fight's going to go to decision, to be frank. And I also think that this fight's going to be close. I just think at plus 190 odds for Joanne Wood and then minus 230 for Moroz. Moroz is a lean, but I'm curious to see what Joanne Wood's decision prop is. I really am. Because I think it's going to be close. It might be swing here, either, here or there. And, the judging might know, hey, she's going to retire. Let's give it a lick back.
Well, I just think she legitimately hits harder than Moroz, too, to be honest.
Correct. And here's the other thing, too. JoJo is more of the pressure fighter in a lot of instances in her fight. And they're in Florida. So the judging does favor pressure fighters. In Texas and Florida, they've notoriously favored pressure fighters. So I think this fight... dog or pass, to be frank. I think that's the best way to bet it. And I think I'm probably going to take a shot at JoJo via decision. I maybe not because it's just she's 38 years old. And I think Moroz got better tools. But you can't convince me that she's a minus 230 favorite too. So dog or pass. So I'm with you here. Moroz is the lean. Joanne might be the bet.
Next fight on the prelims at men's flyweight, we got CJ Vergara going one-on-one with, I'm not going to say his name, his nickname. His first name is Asu, his last name is Almabaev.
Good go.
CJ Vergara, 12-4-1.
I said good go, by the way. Yeah, what you thought I said?
I thought you said good shit or something.
Yeah, no, pretty much.
All right, Vergara. 12-4-1, fighting out of San Antonio, Texas, 32 years old. Almabaev, 18-2, fighting out of Kazakhstan, 30 years old. Almabaev, his regional tape did not look good. I can understand why there was a lot of people who didn't pick him against Ode. I wasn't one of those people. I seen that he has the grappling to do good things in this division. In my opinion, his striking's a little hit or miss. In this fight with Vergara here, I think if the fight stays standing, Vergara's got the edge. Even though Vergara, you can get USPS mail faster than he throws a punch. If I'm being completely honest, none against Vergara. Vergara's a dog.
Everything against USPS though.
Yeah,
fuck him.
But standing, Vergara's got the edge here. Even though he is. I think he's lacking in the speed department. But if this fight gets to the ground...
Asu all day.
I wouldn't say it's Asu all day, but it's definitely more Asu. I think Vergara is decent on the ground, but Asu...
He's just struggled against guys on the floor, though, man.
Yeah.
That's his... You want to beat him? That's how you beat him.
I just think Almabaev is just better on... There's just another level that he's just willing to take it to the ground. Now, does he get the sub? Maybe, maybe not. I'm going to lean maybe... But if it does happen, it's probably going to happen a little later, maybe round 2, round 3. I'm leaving Almabaev here, not with too much confidence because, CJ's a dog. It's hard to get that boy out. So Almabaev's the pick here. Don't know how I'm going to bet it, though.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like Almabaev here as well. Not at minus 470, though. This line is nuts. I probably play the sub prop rounds 2 and 3. But it depends on what it looks like, because if it's not lucrative, I'm not going to play it. This fight might be a stay away just because the lines might be a little juiced. But if there are some nice spots, I will definitely be posting it on the social media platform. It's a little early in the week, so we can't see them. So follow us, as you know, on social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram. You already know.
And drop that follow, baby.
It's but Almabaev is the guy. I'm not impressed too much with CJ's game. I think he is a dog. I think he's a very tough guy, but I don't think he does anything great. And I just think he struggles with wrestlers. And he's lost twice via submission. So yeah, I like Asu here. I like Asu probably by submission or decision.
Next fight on the prelims at heavyweight, big meaty men bumping meat. We got a debuting Robelis. I think that's his name. Robelis Despaigne. I heard somebody saying his name is Robelis. It's probably Robelis, but Despaigne. Who knows? Either way, his nickname is the Big Boy. Hey, yo. Going against another big boy in Josh Parisian. No nickname. Despaigne or Despaigne. Don't know which way you want to go with him. 4-0. Fighting out of Florida, hailing from Cuba, 35 years old, going against Josh Parisian. 15-7. Fighting out of Michigan, 34 years old. What are the odds on this fighter currently?
The odds are minus 330, Despaigne, and plus 240 for Parisian.
Now, you're wondering, hey, why is Despaigne, a guy who's debuting, making his big heavyweight debut. I mean, listen, it's Josh Parisian. Maybe that's why he's a favorite. No. Maybe it has to do with the fact that my man is 6'7", 87-inch reach. Pause.
That's nuts, bro.
This man, I don't know how they build him in Cuba. You gotta hit up your well and find out what they're doing down there. But this man is a freak. 4-0. He's got, what's his background?
Taekwondo. He's a medalist too.
Medalist in Taekwondo. Now you say 4-0. Who's he fought? That's a little scary. Because the combined record of his opponents are 0-1. And 4 guys, by the way. He fought 3 guys that were 0-0 and 1 guy who was 0-1.
By the way, though, and to be fair, this guy has fought guys that are humongous. They're all big dudes.
Oh yeah.
So
if you see these guys, they look like linebackers.
Yeah, he fought a guy that was the same size as him.
Yes.
At some point, I think it was his last fight.
No, he was bigger than him.
Yeah.
He was like 6'8".
Yeah, that's nuts.
He just didn't have the reach, though.
No, and he knocked him out.
Couldn't box with God, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's...
Longs aren't long enough to box with God, feel me?
Yeah, but he's going against the truck driver. Now he's going against the truck driver.
So, logic tells you maybe you bet Parisian because Parisian is the guy with the more UFC experience. No, you don't. You don't want to bet Parisian. I think this is a setup fight. I think Despaigne is here to make a big splash. We don't know. There's a lot of question marks behind the guy. We don't know his takedown defense. We don't know what the fuck he looks like after 3 minutes. Fuck a whole round. 3 minutes of any kind of work.
2
minutes. I'm going to lean Despaigne here.
First round KO.
First round KO.
Yep.
I'm willing to have a little fun with it. This might be one of the few bets where I'm like, you know what? Maybe the under half a round hits.
Correct.
2 minutes and 30 seconds.
The under 1.5, I think, is parlayable here.
Probably,
so.
Yeah, it's just, listen, Parisian, if he had any kind of wrestling, this would probably, this would be an auto bet Parisian.
Yeah, Parisian just doesn't use it, and Parisian doesn't really go to it. He's a black belt, but it's like, he doesn't really know how to get there. Yeah. It's interesting, I'm with you on this, and I think Robelis, he knocks him out in the first round. This guy's fucking explosive. For someone his size, he looks freakish. To be frank, he's freakish looking. Like, he's lanky, and he hits hard, and he knows how to move his feet because of his background. Like, he's a great athlete.
Very accurate puncher.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'm definitely gonna fade this guy probably against a good wrestler. Anyone that has any remote wrestling, because if you look at all his regional footage, he literally gets wrestled, and he's so big that they can't kind of get around him. And then by the time they do get around him, he's already hanging off the cage. He bumps into the cage. Yeah. If he was he's gonna be an Apex god.
Oh yeah,
because no one's taking him down in the Apex.
2 steps and his back is already against the cage in the Apex.
But he's a monster of a man, and I just think that this is a setup fight for him to look good. I think Parisian is. I
mean, if you want the honest
borderline, doesn't belong in the UFC.
If you want to bet the Parisian side, just lie bet it. Yeah, wait until 1 round, because if this fight goes 1 round,
arguably 2-3 minutes, you might have to bet it in the round.
Yeah.
So if it goes past 2 or 3 minutes in the round, you bet Parisian. That's what I'll do.
Yeah.
Shit, I have no shame in my game.
No, not
I
at all.
agree with you, but I'm not betting Parisian pre-fight against this fucking animal. So, Despaigne via knockout first round.
Next fight at light heavyweight, we got Philipe Monstro Lins going against the Hulk Ian Cutelaba. Lins, 17-5, fighting out of Brazil, 38. Well, I was going to say 36, 38 years old, going against the Hulk Ion Cutelaba, 17-9-1, fighting out of Moldova, 30 years old. Damn, I didn't realize he was that young. I always say that because Cutelaba's been fighting in the UFC for a while.
He has.
I think we broke this fight down a while back. This fight was supposed to happen like a month or two ago, right? Or something like that.
I think more than that.
I'm pretty sure I was on the Philipe Lin side. I think I'm still on the Philipe Lin side.
Agreed.
It's more about Cutelaba's IQ and
Lin's gas tank. Lin puts out good volume, does everything good. He can grapple. He can wrestle.
And ever since he's moved down to light heavyweight, he's
a monster.
He's looked pretty good.
Yeah. This is the weight class for him for sure.
Now you can argue, does this fight happen? Because I mean, Lin pulls out more than I had a sexual joke there, and I just completely blanked.
Yeah. He
He pulls out. He has no kids.
No kids.
But if this fight does happen, I like the Lin side. I think
he's a dog too, by the way.
yeah, he's got a jiu-jitsu background. I think he's got decent takedown defense.
And good cardio.
Good cardio.
Yeah.
I mean, used to fight in the PFL. Like, don't discount his experience. I mean, he's 38, but I think he's like, you know,
At light heavyweight, that you're in your prime.
yeah, that's not that bad.
No, it's great.
You know?
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm with you on everything. I don't think we have to go too far into this because we've already covered it numerous times. If you've listened to all of our previous podcasts, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, I like Lin's here. I think Cutelaba's just fight IQ is just and I like Lin's ability to control space. He does throw. Go ahead.
I was going to ask, who's the dog?
Lin's. Yeah, 100%.
Barking out here, boys.
Yeah, I think that's a playable spot. I'm not high on Coots, man. He's undersized. He's going to be undersized. He's going to be close to the same size as this guy in the fight because Lin's is not a big heavyweight. But Lin's, didn't he win the PFL heavyweight tournament?
Yes, he did.
Which is nuts. And you want the real, he fought some decent guys there. So it's not like he fought bums. And then ever since he's come down to light heavyweight, he's been on a tear. Mm-hmm. He's been on a real tear. So I don't want to beat this fight up too much because I think we covered it so many times. But yeah, what he did to Maxine Grishin didn't put a lot of volume, but he was able to take advantage by putting out volume. He knocked out Prachnio. No, he won by decision via Prachnio. He knocked out OSP. You know, yeah. I mean, I like him a lot. I also think he's beaten the better guys, arguably. So, no, let me not say that. I gotta give Coots a little bit of rub. He's gotten over on some dudes. He beat Devin Clark. Oh, maybe not. This might be a 1-800-GAMBLERS fight, ladies and gentlemen.
It might be.
But yeah, he's fought the better brand of competition for sure. Because he fought Glover Teixeira, he fought Ryan Spann, he fought Johnny Walker, and he fought Kennedy Nzechukwu. He lost to all of them. Jerry Cannonier knocked him out too. I remember that fight because Jerry was walking with his hands down. So yeah, he's fought the better brand of competition, but that doesn't mean shit. I'm just going by what I see. I like Lin's a lot here.
Next fight on the prelims. Is this the next fight? It is. At middleweight, we have Domilitor, Michel Pereira, going against Husar, Michał Oleksiejczuk. I think I nailed the shit out of that. Pereira, 29-11, fighting out of Brazil, 30 years old, going one-on-one with Oleksiejczuk. No, I think I'm saying his name wrong, right? Is it Oleksiejczuk?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's Oleksiejczuk.
I think it's Oleksiejczuk. I'm gonna say that. If it's wrong, I apologize. But
yeah, we like you, guy, because we're gonna bet you this fight.
Spoiler: 19-6 overall, fighting out of Poland, 29 years old. I think this fight's a banger.
Great fight.
Michel Pereira. Listen, I've said it numerous times. This guy's he's a walking, talking Tekken player.
He's freakish.
He's a Tekken character come to life. You know. Oleksiejczuk moving down. Ever since he's moved down, he's just had great success at middleweight. He was fighting bigger dudes before and giving them work.
Yep.
Primary boxer, pressure. I think he's the side. I mean, he's the side, but he's not the side by like a wide margin. Like, listen, Pereira is still a dangerous striker. He's probably the more dynamic striker. The thing with Pereira is that, he likes to operate in space. And when you get him in the pocket, he gets a little wild. And that's kind of where Oleksiejczuk kind of thrives. He thrives in the pocket. And I'm saying he's pressure. He walks forward. You got to hurt him. You got to make him respect you. If Pereira would wrestle consistently, I might be on the Pereira side, to be honest. But even so, I think Oleksiejczuk's got decent takedown defense. I think he looked decent against Brohalio until he didn't. But, Rohalio was consistently shooting and trying to get in on him.
He's a spammer. Michel's not like that.
Pereira's not going to do that.
No, he don't have the gas tank to do that.
Now, both these guys probably will gas as the fight goes, but I'm gonna rely on Oleksiejczuk. I think like he's fought bigger dudes, and I think he's probably the one that hits harder out of the boat. Out of both these guys. So yeah. I like the Oleksiejczuk side. I think he's another. We barking again.
I agree with this, and I just like the volume edge here too. Michel doesn't throw too much volume. He's gonna stay on the outside, do explosive shit, but Oleksiejczuk's not gonna go away. He's gonna be right there the whole fight, and he's gonna throw volume and try to get him out of there.
I mean, sure, random head kick is always in the cards for Pereira, but like
correct. But this ain't Alex Pereira. This is Michel Pereira. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you. I got talked off for this because initially I was on Pereira, but the more I think about it, it's like Oleksiejczuk is just a problem with volume and being in your face. And this is gonna be Pereira's real first fight at 85. Because he's fought Petrosky, his first fight. Petrosky used to fight at 70 at one point.
Yeah.
So this is going to be his first real fight against a bigger guy in this weight class, and I think Michel's going to have a little bit of a long night here with Oleksiejczuk. I think Oleksiejczuk is he's got decent skills and good takedown defense. If you can't wrestle him, you're not going to beat him. Like it's hard to beat him on the feet because his boxing's very slick. So
yeah, you have to put him down.
You got to wrestle him or knock him out. So. Yeah, I like Oleksiejczuk here.
Next fight on the prelims at bantamweight, we got the young Punisher. Young in quotation marks, Punisher. Pedro Munhoz going against the Matrix, Phillips. Munhoz, 20-8, fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida, hailing from Brazil, 37 years old. Going one-on-one with the Matrix, Phillips, 11-2, fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona, 28 years old. I think this is another very good matchup at bantamweight here. This is another. I guess it's in themed with this card. There's a lot of old lions, young cubs, trying to take the mantle here. You know what I'm saying? And Munhoz, even though he's the young Punisher, my man is 37 years old. And bantamweight, that is, you're nearing ancient.
You're punishing yourself.
Yeah. The young punishable. Mm-hmm. The old, whatever. I had something better there.
Bailing at your jokes.
I'm just bailing.
I love it.
I like Phillips here. And listen, his last fight against Barcelos, he made Barcelos look like an old man. He historically struggles with people who can grapple and wrestle heavy. Munhoz is more than capable of doing that. The problem is he just doesn't do that. I think this is going to be a striking affair, a big strike fest. And give me the younger guy who I think is more dynamic when it comes to striking. He does have to be aware of the leg kicks for Munhoz, but I think if he takes care of that, I like Phillips here to win. This fight probably goes to the decision.
I agree.
More times than not. But
Pedro very durable.
I'm on the Phillips side here.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Phillips side. I will say, though, I think if this money line gets a little disrespectful towards Pedro, I will probably play it for two reasons. Pedro is a pressure fighter. Pedro makes decent strikers / grapplers. You know, he's a tough fight for anybody.
I agree.
So I just feel like, you know, if he can pressure this guy, especially in the state of Florida, where they favor pressure fighters and guys that can, you know, push the pace of a fight heavily there in both states, I feel like Pedro could definitely be a live dog in the spot, depending on. I don't like it at plus 205. I need a little bit more. If it gets like plus 250, I think it's an auto play.
What about 225?
Maybe, because then the decision will be good enough. Because I think he's going to win by decision. I don't think he finishes Phillips. The only thing that scares me about Phillips is not as active as I would like him to be, but he has picked up the activity as of late. This is the quickest turnaround I think I've ever seen him have.
Yes.
So, and that's because he broke no sweat on Ronnie Barcelos, you know.
He put a work on him,
which I feel bad because I think that fight in Ronnie Barcelos' prime, it's a much better contest. But what I will say, yeah, I like Phillips, but don't be surprised if I give a dog bet on Munhoz, for sure.
Next fight at lightweight, we got Mateusz Gamrot, the gamer, going one-on-one with the legend, not his nickname, but I'm just calling him that, Rafael dos Anjos. Gamrot, 23-2. Fighting out of Poland, 33 years old. Dos Anjos, 32-5. Whoa, 32-15. Fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 39 years old. This fight's probably going to be a banger. I think this fight probably goes to decision too, just straight off rip.
I agree.
I don't know if anybody's going to finish anybody. If anything,
there's a lot of overs for parlay on this card, in my opinion.
I kind of like the finishing upside on RDA.
I agree.
I'm going to say Gamrot probably wins this fight. His grappling is just like, and his scrambling ability is crazy.
His wrestling too.
Yes.
He does a lot of good things.
His striking.
RDA's a better striker.
RDA is going to, if this stays standing, RDA kills him.
Correct.
Kills him. I'm just going to lean Gamrot though, because his pressure and his just overall ability just consistently, he's almost like Moroz.
Yeah.
In terms of like the way he pursues grappling. You see what I'm saying? But Dos Anjos, listen, I think, in my opinion, I think he's got decent takedown defense.
Plus 350 is nuts.
Plus 350 is a little crazy, who I think the guy with the submission upside and the guy with the better striking, I think Dos Anjos could be a bit live. I'm still thinking about this one. The last fight Dos Anjos had, I decided to watch. That was with
Luque.
Luque was able to have wrestling success there and grappling success, but he also was able to set that up, a lot of that with his striking. Mateusz, I mean, unless he starts hurting RDA with some body shots to the leg or something, I mean, this fight is interesting. I think this is probably this fight should be definitely lined closer. It's probably, I think they're just factoring maybe the age and maybe the last L a little too heavy. But I'm gonna lean Gamrot here. Dos Anjos might be a play. Depends.
Yes, I'm with you. Gamrot should win this fight, but at minus 465, I don't even want to know what his decision prop's gonna look like. It's gonna be like a minus 150 number. And guess what? I'm not playing that shit again after the Basharat shit that got unfolded this weekend. Fuck all that. I'm done with playing. Like I said, you lay juice sometimes on props like that, and you get burnt. And I'm just not for it. What I do like is the overs in this fight. I think it's a very parlayable fight. With the overs, RDA might be a bit live. It depends. If this line gets to like plus 400, I think it's an insta play, to be frank. So I'm with you on this for all the reasons that you mentioned.
Next fight on the prelims at women's flyweight, we got Katlyn, not Chukagan anymore. Katlyn Cerminara?
Yeah,
Cerminara?
We'll take it.
The blonde fighter. I'm just going to call her Katlyn.
Terrible name.
Going against, a more terrible name, The Future.
Oh,
Maycee Barber.
And that nickname makes me itch.
Ugh. Katlyn, formerly Chukagan, 18-5, fighting out of Jersey City, New Jersey, 35 years old. Going one-on-one with Barber, 13-2, fighting out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 25 years old. So, I mean, automatically you hear the 10-year age difference here. That's the only, I guess, anamorphic advantage she has, because she is going to be the shorter fighter and she is going to be the fighter with less reach.
Yep.
That being said, I think this fight is another one. It's probably going to be a banger. Is it? Maybe. If it's a banger, it's probably going to be on the Barber side. I like Barber here. I think she's just younger. She hits harder.
Correct. Nothing
against the artist formerly known as Chukagan. But if I keep hearing Kia, I was gonna say end my life, but I'm playing, guys. I would never do that.
A video game.
Maybe in a video game. In Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, I'm with you on this. Maycee's the side, but I will tell you, maybe. And you know why? Because Katlyn has this thing that's called like decent fight IQ, where she doesn't make terrible decisions. I think this fight has every capability of being close. And if it's close, I would love to play on the side of Katlyn via split decision. Because she has made fighters that should beat her look kind of eh. The only ones that have really beat her are big punchers and Valentina Shevchenko. Who's beating Katlyn? I'm curious, just out of pure curiosity.
I mean, just to be fair, though, Maycee Barber is also like a decision monster.
Correct.
In terms of like,
look.
There's fights where they went to split and you're like, did she win? And she won because she was just a more aggressive fighter.
I thought Maycee lost to Andrea Lee. I thought like I said, a lot of things. There's a lot of things I with Maycee that I have questions about. I think she might be peaking out now, which is good. So she should get this done. But you're telling me if Katlyn Chukagian's close to a plus 200, what's her decision line look like when it comes out? That intrigues me. That intrigues the shit out of me because I think this fight's going to be close. But think about it, like who she's lost to. She's lost to Valentina Shevchenko. She lost to Jessica Ai early in her career. We write that off. She lost to Valentina Shevchenko. She lost to Jessica Andrade, who's a huge puncher. And then Manon Feriot. I don't want to mispronounce her name.
Yeah,
but
listen,
she's the young.
I wasn't gonna say that.
She's the young lady that just beat Rose Namajunas. Good striker, very good striker. Knows how to manage distance. I'm not sure Maycee knows how to manage distance the way all of those girls do, and she does not hit as hard as Jessica Andrade. So, for me, this fight can be very close, and I could see Katlyn giving her some trouble. Maycee, if she really wants to win this fight, wrestle her. That would be the most. That's why I think Maycee's the side.
I think that's the whole key of the fight. I think if she's able to get in on her and take her down,
Correct.
or even just win the clinch exchanges, you know what I'm saying? Just overpower. I think she's 100% the side.
Correct.
But she can't do that. Yeah, I could 100% see your point where I think Katlyn, I think she's gonna throw more volume, and she's gonna be just keying her way to victory.
Yeah, and if you want to play this, probably Maycee Barber by decision if it's not too juiced, because Katlyn's only lost via decision. The only two people who have stopped her are Jessica with body shots and Valentina Shevchenko via crucifix and elbows, if I'm correct, if I remember that correctly. So, but I'm just saying, I think if that line is juiced, like if it's like a plus 400 for Katlyn via decision, I'll play it. Why not? Put a quarter unit on it. Let the dice roll, see what happens. Because I think that she can be very live as hell in this fight.
Main event on the prelims at heavyweight. We're back to it. Big meaty men. We got Curtis Blaydes, Razor Blaydes, going one-on-one with Jailton Malhadinho. I think I nailed that. Almeida. Blaydes, 17-4, fighting at Chicago, Illinois, 33 years old. Almeida, 20-2, fighting out of Brazil, 32 years old. I'm looking forward to this fight only because I think it's going to answer a lot of questions that I have. I don't have a good feeling or read either way on this particular fight. I think Blaydes is the side only because he's just going to be the bigger guy, better striker. Almeida might hit harder. I don't know. Almeida definitely doesn't have. I think he'll be the first to gas between the both.
Yes.
Almeida, the thing about Almeida is that he will sell out for the takedown.
Yes.
Curtis won't. So that dynamic is going to be interesting. Also, nobody's really attempted to really actually wrestle Blaydes.
Except for Volkov. But Volkov got him down when he was tired. Like
there was like in the fourth round.
Yeah, after Curtis won the first three.
Yes.
Curtis was tired of hitting him and taking him down.
This fight's a 3-round fight, so we don't got to worry about those extra rounds or Curtis being that tired. Almeida, listen, I know a lot of people are down on Almeida. His last fight, I mean, everybody and their mother was holding a fucking inside the distance ticket, and he just refused to finish Derek Lewis.
I think he had a bet on that fight for it to go to decision.
Hey, man.
I'm dead ass.
He was like, he probably had a bet. He probably had two bets. He probably had a bet to finish him the first round. Really, he realized he didn't. And he was like, all right, plan B.
Decision.
I got to take this shit to decision. Because
some of this shit just looks too fishy to me.
Oh, man. It was just so weird, man.
It sounds like Tim Elliott with Makayev. Makayev had money on him to finish him in the third round.
There's some weird ass things that be happening in the octagon, man. I don't know. UFC got to look into it, man. I don't know. There's some weird shit.
Eddie Bravo voice. Look into it.
I'm going to pick Blaydes here. I think my brother is going to have a better, breakdown in terms of these two. What I am looking forward to, though, before I hand it off, Curtis Blaydes is coming out. So he's coming out to Mortal Kombat.
Yes, he is.
I want to hear that thing. It's just going to bang. It's just slaps. Hey, what do you got, bro?
I like Curtis Blaydes here, and I like Curtis Blaydes for a couple of reasons. The better striker. I think he's got the better cardio. I've been hearing a lot of people saying that, okay, no one's really wrestled into Curtis Blaydes, so what's his defensive wrestling? Who the fuck has wrestled into Jailton Almeida? So I want to know what his wrestling looks like, too. Like they have the same questions, but one has more ways to win. And that's why you got to lean the guy who has more ways to win. The thing is, and you can say Curtis Blaydes with his fight IQ. I get that. But at the same time, like Jailton Almeida with his fight IQ and not stopping Derek Lewis in that fight. There was a lot of things he could have done. Could have transitioned to an arm bar. Could have worked down to a head and arm. And then people were like, oh, well, he has no neck. He could have worked to get his back. Could have smashed him with the ground and pound, got him to turn his back and choked him from behind. And or worked the arm bar from there, or worked omoplata. There's a lot of things he could have done to Derek Lewis on the floor.
100%.
And that's what gives me a little more optimism, because if he can't get his submissions that he likes, is he going to put damage on Curtis Blaydes before Curtis Blaydes can get back up to his feet if he happens to take him down? I already got a bet at Curtis Blaydes in this fight, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I took him at -102 when this line dropped. It's at -120, which I still think is very playable.
Where you say is playable until? Like 130, 135?
I'd say like 140.
140?
Yeah, because I think Curtis 9 times out of 10 should win this fight, in my opinion. I think Jailton got uber exposed the last fight. He's not the bigger guy. He's never wrestled a guy that's as big as, well, no, he has wrestled guys that are big. Curtis is going to be the biggest outside of Derek Lewis. And Derek Lewis actually gave a little bit of resistance before he went down. So you're telling me that Curtis Blaydes is going to wrestle a guy and that's all he's going to do? And he just has to worry about him taking him down? I'll take those odds.
And generally, I feel like when you see a style of like a styles matchup like this, where you got two guys who want to grapple, who want to wrestle, sometimes it ends up just being a striking affair.
Correct. Which I don't see it, to be frank.
And if it does, I mean, I'm
favoring Curtis.
I think Curtis is the better striker.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen
because as uncomfortable. I mean, he's been getting more comfortable in the striking department.
Correct.
All kudos to Blaydes. As comfortable as he looks, Almeida looks uncomfortable on the feet.
Very. It's alarmingly bad. It's not. People are saying it's serviceable. It's shit.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's shit. All right, like he throws a kick because he's not afraid to get taken down. I get that, and I think it's how good is Jailton off his back. I'm gonna say he's pretty good. There's a
lot of questions on both sides,
but there's more questions on Jailton's.
You think so?
I think so. I get it. Maybe Curtis Blaydes is not the next champion. Maybe he won't be Tom Aspinall. I wouldn't at this point in time. I probably wouldn't pick him, even though Tom Aspinall said this is a stylistically bad matchup for me. But I just don't see. If Jailton does not get to the floor, Curtis Blaydes is going to look like a -1,000. He's going to beat the brakes off of him. It's going to be bad. So, but hopefully, the only problem with Curtis, a little bit of an IQ issue sometimes. Kind of turns his brain off when he fights. But I still think this guy has a lot of the goods to become a champion. I really do. And I have more, I weigh him more in the champion category than I do Jailton Almeida. I don't see. If Jailton does not get to the floor, it's going to be a long fucking night. That's where I think it lies. And the other thing I was going to mention is that Curtis is I like the ITD in this fight for sure. That much I will say. I like the ITD because
Curtis is going to let his hands go.
Curtis is going to let his hands or his elbows go, and when he's got him in his guard. That's the thing. Does Jailton really want someone like that on top of him? So even if whoever wins the top position in this fight is going to win the fight.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. You know, but if we're being real, I trust Curtis's wrestling background to not only win those positions, he also is just a better open mat wrestler. You know? And the only people who have beaten him are nuclear punchers. And Sergey Popovich, Francis twice, and Derek Lewis. Nuclear punchers. Jailton Almeida is none of that. I don't see it in for him. I think it's a tough fight for him. So Curtis Blaydes definitely the side, and Curtis Blaydes already got a bet for me. So,
all right, to kick off the main card at men's bantamweight, we got Petr Yan, No Mercy, going 1-on-1 with the Kung Fu Kid, Yadong Song Yadong. Yan, 16-5, fighting out of Russia, 31 years old. Song Yadong, 21-7-1, fighting out of China, 26 years old. This is a banger of a fight. This is probably one of the harder fights to really pick a side, if I'm being honest.
Yes, and it's lined like that too. At -120 for Petr Yan, Song Yadong at +100.
I'm gonna break down the Yadong side first. I think Yadong, pressure fighter. He's probably gonna probably hits harder than between the both of them.
Correct.
I do give him the grappling
Upside,
but only because I think he will attempt attempt it more than Jan does.
Correct.
Boxer, high IQ, decent defense. Peter Yan, though. I think Peter Yan's got slightly better defense. I don't think he's going to hit as hard. I think he's the more dynamic striker.
Yes.
And
good takedown defense, too.
Very good takedown defense on both sides.
Correct.
And Yan is also very high IQ. Always comes in with a game plan. I'm gonna lean. I kind of want to like. If Yan didn't give away first rounds like he usually, I mean, I don't know if he does. He's on a 3-fight skid. He needs to probably turn this around. It's a 3-round fight. It's a little rough to give up a round in a 3-round fight. He's definitely a 5-round fighter. I'm gonna lean Yadong slightly. I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna bet this fight, but I'm gonna lean Yadong only because of the fact that Yan is more than likely to give away the first round. Yadong also again punches heavy, hits hard, walks forward. This fight probably is gonna go the distance. I wouldn't be surprised if it went split decision because that's the way Yan fights always tend to go. I wouldn't be surprised if Yan won by split. Yan, I think, is a better counterpuncher than Yadong. It's gonna be a very fucking interesting fight to see. I wish it was a 5-rounder. Damn, that makes me want to pick Yan. I don't know who the fuck I want to pick on this fight. I'm gonna lean Yadong for now. I do not know. I've been flip-floppy on this fight since they announced the fight. Even watching tape, it's made it even harder to pick. What do you got for me, bro?
Another fight that you can parlay the over, because I think this is going to go all 3 rounds, because
I 100% agree.
Yadong is durable and Yan is hard to kill like Steven Seagal.
Bars.
I'm going to go Yadong here, though, and the reason being, Yan's a very slow starter, probably going to lose the first round, and Yadong all he has to do is wrestle him for a round. So if the fight gets close, he can just wrestle him in the third. And I think he can get him down, because he is a gorilla. Like, if you look at Yadong, he did the same thing to Gutierrez.
Yeah, I didn't want to guarantee the takedown because Yan actually has decent takedown D, but like you're right. I mean, Yadong could literally
the physicality
power double. Yeah, he's
like,
just like
Moroz is strong, but more volume. Like if he's a spammer, this guy gets a hold of you. I think did he take Sandhagen down?
Yes, I think. Yeah,
and I think
Sandhagen took him down.
Yeah, for sure. Like when he popped right back up.
Yeah,
like I like Yan. My heart says Yan, man, but my mind is telling me.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel. I'm with you.
This is such a close fight. It's the hardest fight on this card to pick, in my opinion. I think like it's just so difficult to pick this fight because I don't know. But if I had to guess, I'm gonna go Yadong here. Unfortunately, I don't want to pick against Peter Yan. I think it's a bad decision to pick against Peter Yan. But I've picked for Peter Yan the last 4 fights and got burned.
The thing is like I just feel like he's a better counter striker, and I think once if he takes that round to download and he just whoops his ass those next 2 rounds.
But that's why I think Yadong is gonna wrestle in this fight, because if he starts letting his hands go and connecting on Yadong, and the thing is Yadong has so much power, all it takes is one shot from him to turn around in his favor.
I wouldn't be surprised if Yan attempted to wrestle, only because, like, I mean,
just to give him something to look at.
He doesn't wrestle, but like when I was watching the Sugar fight,
yeah,
he shot on Sugar relentlessly, and I feel like Yadong is the same thing that Sandhagen did. To mix it up and to really throw Yadong off his game, you have to grapple him.
Correct.
So
I think standing, he's so dangerous to stand, even for a guy as masterful as Yan.
Yeah,
like you have to.
Who's got the better defense in my opinion?
100%. He's a better striker.
Yes.
He is. But Yadong is just he just has a way of getting to you, and I just feel like if he doesn't wrestle Yan, Yadong is gonna wrestle him.
Yeah,
and then that's gonna. Like I said, I like Yadong here, and I like Yadong just because Yan gives away first rounds. If it was a 5-round fight, I'm picking Peter Yan.
Maybe it's a live bet spot. The more I think about it, who knows?
Who knows?
Next fight on the main card at welterweight, we have Dorinho Gilbert Burns going 1-on-1 with Jack Della Maddalena. Burns, 22-6, fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 37 years old. Going 1-on-1 with Jack Della Maddalena, 16-2, fighting out of Australia, 27 years old. This is a fight where when they announced the fight, I'll admit it, I got a little jumpy. I put a little pre-bet on Gilbert. But, ended up retracting that bet because I think this fight is probably going to be way closer than the line indicates currently. I think it should be a dead pick'em, 110 on each side. I'm leaning, I said I bet Burns, but I think I'm leaning Jack. I don't know how to explain it. Listen, I know he looked fucking dog shit against Hafez. Hafez kind of exposed Jack just a bit. In my brain, Durinho is 10 years older. Durinho hurt himself against Bilal. Attempting to take down, and it was all on him. He fell on his shoulder. That reeks of old man shit to me, low key. Like, he fell and then hurt. Like, I've fallen and I can't get up. Like, he busted his shoulder. He couldn't throw. The fight was completely different after he hurt himself in the first round. But that was something that he did and hurt himself. I think Jack Della's defense, personally, I think it's I don't think it's as bad as people think. On top of that, I think Burns, I think the way he gets his takedowns are more body lockish. I think Jack Della's decent with that. Also think Jack Della's decent on the ground. At least he'll survive long enough if it does hit the ground where I don't think he'll get submitted outright. And on the feet, I think Jack Della is just, dude's a stud. I'm leaning Jack here. Unless I start watching more tape and maybe I flip-flop again because I'm a notorious flip-flopper. Again, I did pick Burns initially. I think I'm leaning Jack Della here. I think my brother is in a bit of a disagreement here, though.
Yeah, I'm on Gilbert Burns. And I'm on Gilbert Burns because, by the way, JDM, I think he has the arguably top 5 boxing in the UFC. That's how highly I think of his striking. Very, very responsible defensively and very potent offensively. If you want the honest truth, though, a lot of the guys he's fought, he hasn't really fought wrestlers. Anjos, Hafez is the closest guy. Yeah. And if you look at the scrambling that they did in those fights, if Gilbert is in any one of those scrambles, he chokes him. He chokes him or he grabs an arm.
Or he blows his shoulder.
The only thing that scares me about this fight is that he's 37 years old.
Yeah.
But at plus 140, I kind of like this line, man. I kind of like this line. And I just feel like a guy that has a gaping hole in terms of his game, like JDM, I feel like Gilbert Burns is worth a dog shot here, man. Even with the 10-year age gap, if I'm correct, right? It's 10 years?
10 years.
I just think JDM, he has a very glaring hole. It's glaring. Like, don't get me wrong, he scrambles okay. He has decent wrestling defense, but if you want the real, who has he really fought that can do that? And that can really take him to that part of that realm of the game. And Gilbert does have comparable wrestling. His wrestling's not bad. He's not Colby Covington, but he's better than all the other guys he fought, and he's the best grappler in the division. Here's the best analysis I can give to it. Gilbert's not going to look completely lost on the feet with JDM. JDM's going to be completely lost on the floor with Gilbert.
I disagree there. I don't think he's going to be completely lost. I don't know. I just think his jits is a little better than, he fought
he reminds me so much of Tim Elliott because he puts himself in shittier positions. Like sometimes.
Nah, he's not that.
Look at that Ange Lusa fight in the Contender Series. He rolled into a worse position with Ange. And Ange is not a wrestler.
But I feel like he's gotten better.
He has. Just Gilbert Burns is a different level.
I just feel like, I don't know. I like the disagreement here because me and my brother usually don't disagree. But I'm feeling Jack here. I'm feeling Jack. I think Jack is going to be able to get it done. I don't know if this goes over or under. I'm probably going to lean the over. I can see this probably going to decision because, Durinho's a tough motherfucker. Jack Della, another tough motherfucker.
Another fight where I see the overs, 100%.
Yeah, I can see this going over. I wouldn't even be surprised if there was a 3rd round finish, being honest, on either side.
But yeah. What I will say, though, too, about Ameev, this is the same guy who lost to Danny Hot Chocolate Roberts. So if that's the basis of what this is.
Hey, man, listen.
I don't know. I don't know.
Amateurs become contenders and contenders become champions, but you gotta give him a chance. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree. Like if you put JDM against a striker, I think he beats a lot of these guys. But you're putting him against a world champion jiu-jitsu player who can wrestle.
I mean, overblown lightweight.
Yeah, so sure. That overblown lightweight's the only one who dropped Kamaru Usman outside of Leon.
Hey, you spitting fast.
He hits mad hard, bro. Like, I mean, listen, I'm not saying he's not going to be able to keep up with JDM on the feet, but he's not going to look lost.
Yeah. No, I agree.
On the floor, it's going to be a different thing. This guy's not only a black belt, like a high level black belt, a world champion black belt. I mean, dude, he subbed Damian Maia. He almost subbed Damian Maia. He almost got his back in that fight. That's Damian fucking Maia.
I hear you. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Almost ain't it.
Cut through Neil Magny like butter. Drop Kamaru Usman. Was one of the few guys to get Wonder Boy to the floor pretty easily and control him there. Shotcut had more trouble getting Wonder Boy to the floor than Gilbert Burns. And that was an older Wonder Boy. I don't know. I mean, listen, if you want to be, I understand. The only reason that I'm even a little bit remotely afraid to bet this is because of Gilbert's age. That's it. You're telling me Gilbert from 5 years ago? This is a minus 600.
Well, it's a different fight.
Minus 600.
Yeah. The age for me is a decent factor.
Correct.
Well, to be honest.
And then the injury, I get it. I gotta play my boy because JDM is terrible. His wrestling shit. Hafez, and that's the thing. People are like, oh, well, Hafez took it on short notice. Dude, he was training for Sean Brady. Sean Brady would have, I'm not even high on Sean Brady. He would have fucked this boy.
I just think it's a different style of grappling, though, between Hafez. Like, Hafez and Sean Brady are like one style. I think Burns is a different style.
Yeah, Burns is more technical. It's just with
trips and shit, but correct. I mean, he's shooting doubles, though?
He makes better decisions.
He's shooting singles, though?
He ran the pipe on T-Wood.
I mean,
I don't know.
That was like, I mean, come on. You know what's up with T-Wood, though.
But I was shit on my boy, bro. So, nah, I think...
T-Wood eating good in the neighborhood right now, so don't worry about it.
I agree. You're a filthy animal for that one, but...
Hey, if you know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're filthy animals. Yeah, I like Gilbert. He likes JDM. We can move on. That's someone we both agree on.
Next fight on the main card, and as currently constituted, it is the featured bout. We got Kevin Holland, the Trailblazer, go on one with the debuting Bellator sensation, Michael Venom Page. The Trailblazer, 25-10, fighting out of Fort Worth, Texas, 31 years old, going one-on-one with Michael Venom Page, 21-2, fighting out of the United Kingdom. Crumpet Boys, 36 years old.
Why you say Crumpet Boys?
They like tea and crumpets and shit, right? I don't know. English muffins. Do they just call them muffins over there?
I don't know. I don't want to comment on this. You're mean.
Listen. I don't know if this is a hot take. It might be a hot take among people who enjoy the product of the UFC. But I think Michael Venom Page is going to win this fight.
I think he's going to fuck him up.
I think this was, and I spoke about the Gilbert bet that I made maybe a little prematurely on my end. This Michael Venom Page, when this line dropped, your boy dropped the hammer.
Correct.
2 units already.
He might get another one.
And
another two.
And the more I think about it, the more I think I might commit more. This might be my first max unit bet. I'm still debating, but I'm ready, 2 units straight off rip. Listen, I just think Page is the side here. I mean, people bring up this Kevin Holland wrestling fucking thing that I've never seen in my entire life.
It's mythical like a unicorn.
Dude.
Like, people know it existed probably in history, but they've never seen it.
When has he wrestled anybody proactively? Please show me the fucking footage.
I need to see it.
Because I have not seen it.
He shot on JDM and it was a terrible shot. Like, it was bad.
Oh, but he got Chiesa. Chiesa wrestled into him.
Correct.
Let's stop the cap.
Chiesa,
he's got good grappling, but he's an opportunistic grappler. Yes. I want to hear it, boy. Like, the shit that he's going to wrestle him. He's got the wrestling upside. Yeah, sure, if it gets there. Michael Venom Page, man, is the master of distance. This dude is crazy. You guys want to compare resumes. all right, the UFC's got the cream of the crop. I get it. Page ain't fighting bums in the Bellator either. Like, let's stop with the cap here for a bit. Yeah, sure, Holland's got the stronger strength of schedule, but Page is more than comparable. I think Page is the side. You know what? I'm gonna let my brother. I'm getting too crazy right now. I'm getting hot thinking about this because the disrespect that Venom Page has been getting.
It's nuts. It's
Come
nuts.
on, man.
I'm with you on this. And we talked about this. As soon as this line dropped, ladies and gentlemen, we put 2 units on him at plus 142, which I think is highway robbery. This fight should be a pick'em at minimum.
I think long as he's plus money, he's playable.
He's playable. And here's why. Kevin Holland doesn't wrestle. Kevin Holland does not have good fight IQ. Wonder Boy fell into his lap 3 times and he let him get up. Not saying that will happen in this fight. I think maybe if he does fall down, he would have to hope for MVP to get off balance and fall.
Yes.
But if you're betting on that against a guy who is a high-level point fighter, high-level Taekwondo, I think it's Taekwondo if I'm correct.
I don't know, Taekwondo, karate.
Whatever it is, because he's a fucking animal at it.
He's nice.
The only guy that's ever beaten this guy, if I'm correct, in that circuit is Raymond Daniels, who is another fucking savage. What I will say is I just think that if you're betting on Kevin Holland for the possibility of him to wrestle this guy, you're bugging. Kevin Holland's not going to outstrike him.
Also, I don't want to cut you off, but I also heard another fucking thing because I'm looking down the resume now. Oh, he lost to Mike Perry in bare knuckle.
Oh my goodness.
Stop with the cap. Stop with the fucking narrative. This is bullshit. How you gonna blame a man whose best assets are literally his legs?
His legs.
He's fighting bare knuckle against a guy who's a literal living zombie.
He's built for bare knuckle. He's Mike Perry.
Mike Perry. Shouts to Mike Perry. He's built for bare. You're right. He's a bare knuckle legend. Yeah. He's found new life
in bare knuckle.
In BKFC. 100%.
He's a nut.
I'm not holding that fucking loss to Mike Perry against him. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. He's only lost to 2 fucking people in his career.
Douglas Lima is one of the most underrated and underappreciated fighters, and I think in MMA history.
And then Logan Storley,
a
wrestler.
Yeah. Who, by the way, if Logan Storley fought Kevin Holland, he beats him. I think Logan Storley beats Kevin Holland.
Hot take.
What I will say is, I think, by the way, you're right. I forgot about the Mike Perry fight, and I think like that's so overblown because you can't. They're 2 different sports.
Yeah.
You can't use your legs.
It's striking.
That's like telling Stylebender to beat fucking who fights in his weight class at 85 to beat Bivol in a boxing match. Are you high? Like, and it's don't get me wrong. As good of a striker as Stylebender is, he can't outbox a boxer. Like Perry's base is boxing, and Perry's better at bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah,
which has different nuances to it. You can overhook, you can throw the uppercut there. You can't do that in boxing. MMA you can do that, but you can't really get close because of the grappling exchanges as well as the kicking exchanges. So I agree. You're taking away Michael Venom Page's best weapons with his feet and saying, yeah, I think it's such an overblown narrative. People are saying, oh, well, Kevin Holland has the bigger dimensions on this guy. Kevin Holland's taller. He's longer. Dude, Kevin Holland couldn't find JDM his last fight. Couldn't find him. You think he's going to find Michael Venom Page? If you guys have watched any footage on this guy, and say that he's essentially not as good as they promote him to be, I might agree with you there. I might. Do I think he's going to be a world champion in the UFC? Probably not.
Probably not.
Because if you put him in there against like a Kamaru or a Kobe, he's going to get wrestle fucked.
I mean, listen, at 36, he would have to go now.
Correct. And he's older now too. But if you're sitting here and you're watching the tape and you're saying that Kevin Holland's the better striker than this guy, you have no fucking clue what you're talking about. No clue. And he's crushing cans. Look at some of the guys he's stopped. He's even beaten Lima via points. And I know people said it was a little controversial, but if you want the real, he essentially pointed him. He landed the damage and just got control with the wrestling, but he won the fight. You could argue he won the fight. So I'm not terribly mad at that. Even though I think I did score that second fight for Lima, but regardless, I seen the argument for MVP. The same thing with Storley. One thing that this guy knows how to do, and this is what I'm saying, he doesn't grapple. He's never been submitted. Oh, well, he's never fought anyone that can really submit. Logan Storley is a very high-level grappler. Very. He's a very good wrestler, too. And one thing MVP does very well, besides mitigating submission attempts, he's very good at mitigating damage on the floor off his back. So even if Kevin does get him there, I'm not sure if Kevin's going to be able to hold him there because Kevin's not that good of a wrestler. And I'm not sure if Kevin's going to be even in a position to land proper damage. I think the UFC is showcasing this guy. They put him on the main card. They put him against a guy who makes bad fight decisions. And by the way, people who are saying he's taller than him, that's cap. They're both the same size. Kevin has a 2-inch reach advantage, which is, if you want the honesty, for a striker like MVP, it's not substantial. This guy darts in and out. You guys seen what Wonderboy did to him. And if you want the real, MVP is a bigger version of Wonderboy. He's bigger, faster, and hits harder. So you're going to try and convince me that a guy that's more physically gifted than the guy that whooped this guy's ass. And if you want the real, I think MVP, you could argue, has better takedown defense. You could make that argument. Wonderboy, once he hits the floor, fish in the water. MVP, kind of a fish in the water as well, but he knows how to mitigate damage better. Wonderboy got cut through like butter by Shavkat. Like I said, I just think Kevin Holland's fighting a more athletic Wonderboy who knows how to manage distance better, in my opinion, and knows how to be in and out of spaces better. You know. And last but not least, for the people that said that Kevin Holland could beat Douglas Lima, go fuck yourself. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Pete Douglas Lima, get the fuck out of my face. You are high as fuck. You know, so no.
I think it's a good matchup, but
yeah,
like people think that Kevin Holland's he would blow Douglas Lima out the water.
I just think the Douglas Lima at one point was a top 5 welterweight.
Yeah,
in the world, in my opinion, top 5, top 3. I would have loved to see him fight Kamaru. Just because he has the size to deal with Kamaru, the physicality. And on the feet, he's way better than Kamaru. Dude, his striking is filthy. He has one of the best left hooks outside of not named Michel, Alex Pereira. His left hook put motherfuckers in a blender. So I think we need to put a little bit more respect on Bellator's competition. Is it their level of competition at the UFC? No.
No, not at all.
But MVP has fought the who's who there, outside of maybe one guy before his contract finitoed over there. So I like MVP here. And this guy, for people saying UFC jitters, he has a wealth. He's got 23 fights as an MMA fighter. He has a wealth of experience as a Taekwondo fighter.
Yeah,
at a high level.
I don't think he's going to be one of those guys that crumbles.
That crumbles under the big lights. No. I think he's made for these moments. He's a showman. He's a complete showman. And I think this, I don't want to say he's going to knock out Kevin. I won't go that far. I think the money line, you play it. But if he knocked him out, would I be surprised? No. Like if he chinned this motherfucker. That's all. I just think Kevin, if you're betting on Kevin Holland at this point, if he couldn't do it against JDM and he couldn't fight in JDM, what makes you think he's going to fight MVP? He couldn't even wrestle JDM. He barely wrestled JDM. And you think he's going to wrestle MVP? He might have to because he's getting lit the fuck up. But if you want the real, he's not going to be able to find him. There's a lot of guys who have shot on MVP couldn't find him because his footwork is so fantastic and he's so gifted athletically that they can't find his legs. And, like I said, we're not Bellator homers here, but we're some of the few people we know that watch all MMA promotions.
Yeah.
We know what we're watching.
I'm not afraid to acknowledge when I see when somebody's good, they're good.
Correct. Jason Jackson over there, beast. Nadim Nankov also is arguably the best 205 on the planet right now.
Patchy Mix,
best 35. I think he's the best 35 on the planet.
Yeah.
If you put him in there with Sean O'Malley, mauls him. If you put him in there with homeboy that's fighting him this weekend, Cheeto, I think I don't know if he submits Cheeto because Cheeto's so fucking tough, but I think he beats him. He's a guy that should probably be fighting at 45 with the best ground skills out of everyone in this division.
Yeah.
Like Patricio Pitbull, maybe not now, but at one point, top 3 featherweight. I would have loved to see him against Volkanovski.
I think AJ McKee's underrated.
AJ McKee's a fucking hammer. 55, and he's like,
Aaron Pico's a dog.
Yeah, even though he had a tough start, but now the way he's turning it around, beast. So convince me otherwise. it is what it is. I love MVP in this spot. He's already got 2 units. He might get another 2 or 3 from me. Don't be surprised, ladies and gentlemen.
Next fight, co-main event, lightweight. We got Dustin the Diamond Poirier going one-on-one with the God of War, Benoit Saint-Denis.
Funnest fight in the card for sure.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, this is gonna be a bloodbath.
Poirier, 29-8 overall, fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida, 35 years old. I think he's a Louisiana boy. I could not get that word out. Hot sauce boy, through and through. Going against Benoit Saint-Denis, the God of War. 13-1, fighting out of France, hailing from France, 28 years old. I promise not to be as long-winded as I was in the last fight.
Same.
I mean, it's gonna sound binary as shit, but I mean, it is what it is. I think if Benoit is able to establish the grappling, I think he wins this fight. I have him. They have him as the favorite. I have him as the pick. I think he does win this fight. On the feet is Poirier all day. Listen, Dustin's a god.
Slicker boxer.
In his own right.
Good counter puncher.
Interesting stylistically, or I don't know if stylistic's the right word. It's southpaw versus southpaw. That presents its own issues and benefits. I think Benoit's the side here. I think Benoit's going to be able to take down Dustin. And I mean, this is going to be a 5-round fight.
Probably ITD.
I'm leaning inside the distance. I don't know how he gets it done, but I think Benoit Saint-Denis, I mean, I don't want to, and it sucks because I like Poirier, but 35 years old.
Wars.
Been through a tremendous amount of wars.
It's crazy because Saint-Denis special ops, but it's like Dustin Seymour shit. Yeah. It's weird. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's that army guy face meme. You know what I'm saying? That they have online. I seen some shit. You know what I'm saying? Dude got the helmet. That's Dustin Poirier, man. I don't know how you feel about it. I'm on the Saint Denis side. I don't know how else to like really break this one down, to be honest. I think if Poirier is able to keep it standing, he could piece him up. He could probably get Saint Denis out of there via KO, 100%. I mean, you can argue his fucking Dos Santos fight in his debut fight. It was a weight class up, but he took a stupid amount of damage in that fight. That fight should have been stopped maybe about 3 times. I can see that on the Poirier side, where if he's able to mitigate the grappling, I can see it inside the distance on Poirier knockout. I've seen too many people get in on Dustin lately.
And he got knocked out his last fight too, by Justin.
And I just think Saint Denis is just, I mean, listen, we know what he wants to do. He's a killer, man, and you got to kill him in there. And I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to get his grappling going, and I think it's going to be a long night or short night. But as long as the night goes, it's going to be a night for Poirier.
Yeah, you mean Saint Denis?
No.
It's going to be a long night for you, for Dustin.
Yeah,
oh, shit.
Because he's going to get put in the blender, I think.
Yeah, well, here's what this is.
People going to bleed. It's going to get cut open, and somebody might die.
Yeah. This fight is going to be a bloodbath.
Did I mention 5-rounder? It's a 5-rounder, by the way.
Oh, my goodness.
If I didn't
There's
already.
no other way to book this fight, to be frank. If it was 3 rounds, it'd be an injustice.
I am worried about the cardio a bit on the Saint Denis side. But
I agree. This is what I'm... So you fed right into my point. So when this fight first opened, and my brother right here could tell you, I was on Dustin. And I was on Dustin because Dustin is a good counterpuncher. Like an exceptional counterpuncher.
Yes.
At the UFC level. But one thing that I think is not being mentioned enough about Saint Denis here is that I think they classify him as like a vicious striker and this and that. He uses his striking to get to his grappling. And if you look at his fights, that's how he fights. He doesn't fight to like go to war with you. He fights to get to your body and get you to the floor.
And he does not fuck around on the ground.
No, he's a beast.
He's not one of these guys that wants to play around and hold you down. No, he's looking to finish.
He's looking to pass. He's looking to, get your back and sub you. And he's nasty on the floor. He's a nasty motherfucker.
Yeah. Got power in his hands though.
Yeah. No, he can crack, but like it's not the bread and butter of his game.
100%.
His bread and butter is getting to the grappling.
Yes. Using the striking to get to the grappling.
Yes. Now, All that said, this line's getting a little crazy for Dustin. He's at a plus 185 right now. If he gets to like a plus 200, I think he might be an auto play. Even plus, I would say 220. He's an auto play. But here's how I think you should play this fight. I think Benoit Saint Denis, ITD, is definitely it. But if you want the honest to God truth, if Benoit cannot take him down or is having trouble holding him down in certain positions, or he's huffing and puffing for gas, this might be a live bet spot, maybe in the second or third round.
I don't disagree with that.
Because I think Benoit, like, that's the only thing I would say is untested, because this guy goes in there to kill. But at the end of the day, too, he's always huffing and puffing in the second, third round, too, because he's just throwing everything into his shots to try and get you out of there. And here's the other factor. One thing I like about Saint Denis' game is his kicks. This is going to be the first fight that he's had southpaw versus southpaw in the UFC. So this mitigates a lot of the body kicks that he does from his side to orthodox fighters.
Yeah.
Dustin's a good leg kicker as well. He has that capability in his arsenal. And this is going to be the biggest puncher Saint Denis has fought.
Scary fight.
I'm not. Yeah, it's a great fight, and for all the reasons I listed, it's a great fight. And as well as you, because now Saint Denis, Dustin's usually the bigger guy. Saint Denis is going to be the bigger guy in this fight.
He's height wise, and I think he's just going to.
He's a girthy dude.
I want to see the weigh-ins. I think he's going to be the bigger guy.
He's a bigger guy. Yeah. I think so too. But this fight is, man. When I tell you, like, this fight is, it's going to be fucking nuts. It's going to be fucking nuts. There's no way there's a reason this fight is the co-main. And there's a reason they made it 5 rounds. Dustin is, this fight's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts on every level, to be frank. I don't know. This fight, and if you're asking me, this fight's not going the distance. Fuck no. Maybe 3 rounds, I might give him some of the durability edge, but I don't see it because Dustin is a killer. If Dustin starts getting his combination going, it's like a bus running downhill on you. Like, and dude,
it's a runaway train, bro.
Dude, he cracks, you know. Saint Denis on the floor is lights out. He could also knock out Dustin too.
100%.
The only thing that scares me about Dustin in this fight is his age and the fact that he got knocked out his last fight.
Head kick, yeah.
So how's he going to look? Even though he has taken an adequate amount of time off, it's still scary stuff. Like, it's scary times for him against a guy who hits like this. I like Saint Denis as well because I was on Dustin initially, but I got to admit I'm switched off by it because I think Saint Denis can get him to the floor, especially after watching some footage with Dustin, with Dan Hooker getting him to the floor. Charles Oliveira got him got his back. Couldn't get him to the floor, got his back though, which Saint Denis is good at doing.
Yep.
And, Khabib, I'm going to disqualify because I think Khabib is a different level from a lot of the guys in this weight class.
What about Michael Chandler? You disqualifying him?
Michael Chandler wrestled him too.
Yeah.
And Michael was able to get on his hips, slam him on his head. Michael Chandler, if he had better fight IQ, he wins that fight. He just doesn't have good fight IQ. Saint Denis, you can argue that too. That's why this fight's so interesting, because I don't think Saint Denis makes the best choices either. The grappling he does, the striking he doesn't. He'll stand in the pocket and take bombs. If Dustin cracks him one time, I knock him the fuck out.
Yeah, that's going to be the danger zone. In that pocket is going to be scary for Denis. But Denis, listen, it's scary because he does rely on his chin a little too much.
I agree. This guy's got a war. If you shaved his head, he looked like fucking Kratos. He does like Kratos, like straight up. Just put just give him a little red thing to his face.
Red paint.
Oh my goodness, he's terrifying, dude, man. He's like the new Mirko Krokop. If none of you guys are familiar with it, you knew the MMA scene. This guy was like special ops for I forgot. I think it's Poland. Don't quote me on that. No, Croatia. And this dude like had the best stare downs ever. But he was so intense. He was like Benoit.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, and his left leg was insane. He could grapple, but his striking was where it was at. Benoit gives me big Mirko vibes. But what I will say is I think he's a little more polished on the floor, Benoit. And the crazy thing is he's got to be strong and a good athlete because he started. I think he went professional 8 years ago. He started really training in 2017, which is fucking insane.
Yeah.
So he's got to
pro in 2019.
He's got to feel crazy. He's got to feel crazy. He's got to be very strong, and he's got to be a good athlete.
And I think I'm pretty sure in every fight he's had, he's gotten at least 1 or 2 takedowns.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get Dustin to the floor here, and if he does, he's lights out on the floor. Like, he's a beast. Dustin does have capabilities on the floor too. He has a nasty guillotine. beat Max via mounted triangle, like, but that was years ago. But I think Benoit's game is more modern than Dustin's.
Yeah.
On the floor. I gotta lean Benoit here. It hurts me to say because I love the diamond, but Dustin might get a live bet spot or even a dog bet if this line gets any more disrespectful. So Benoit Saint Denis, ITD, inside the distance.
UFC 299 main event for the Bantamweight Championship of the World. Got Sean O'Malley, Sugar Sean, going against Cheeto. Marlon Vera, the runback. O'Malley, 17-1. His only loss to Cheeto Vera. Fighting out of Scottsdale, Arizona, 29 years old. Marlon Cheeto Vera, 23-8-1. Repping Ecuador.
All the Ecuadorian homies better tune into this fucking card.
Fighting out of California, 31 years old. You're not wrong. Ecuador better stand the fuck up for this boy.
I like this guy. He's so underpromoted and undermarketed. His personality is fantastic.
How do you feel about this rematch, personally?
I think Sean should get it done via decision. I don't think he's going to get... He could say other shit he wants about knockout. Cheeto is fucking durable. He gets hit and he doesn't even wear it. Durable.
Yeah.
He's scared. It reminds me like a lot of Triple G and Canelo. Like when they get hit, they don't swell up. It's nuts. What I will say is 5 rounds. He's a plus 230 right now, Cheeto. I'm going to lean Sean here. But what I will say is that everything Cheeto throws hurts. Everything he hits you with hurts. I also think that I'm pretty sure Sean hasn't gone 25 minutes before. And by the way, he is not the most durable guy. He is not on the chin maybe because Jan cracked him and hurt him.
Jan cracked him a couple times.
And hurt him.
I think if Cheeto connects the same way,
he might put him out.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I could see Cheeto going to the leg kicks here, man. Cheeto might give away the first 2 rounds though. That's the problem. Cheeto might be a live bet play here because he might be a plus 600 by round 3.
The reason why I'm not all hum-ho on Cheeto, because I want to be. I love Cheeto as a personality. I like his fight style. I like everything about Cheeto. The problem with Cheeto in this particular fight, I think he needs to do 2 things. One thing I think he probably will do, the leg kicks.
Yes.
One thing I'm not sure he will do, I think he should grapple.
Yes.
He's only grappled once. No, not once. That's cap. But I've only noticed that he'll go to the grappling if he's being bothered by the striking, which is possible from Sean O'Malley here.
Correct.
The fight that I'm referring to was when he fought Song Yadong.
Yeah.
Song Yadong just kept walking forward on him, throwing, and it was kind of making Cheeto likes to operate in the space. I think the space that Sean O'Malley's going to give him too.
Correct.
So unless Cheeto, I think, is proactively grappling here on top of mixing in the kicks and the punches and doing his thing, I like O'Malley here.
I like O'Malley too.
I think O'Malley knows he's been preparing for this fight
forever.
I think forever. He wants his lick back. I think he's the better striker in terms of he's just way more dynamic.
Weaponry. Yep.
And
he knows how to manage distance very well too.
I think he's high IQ. I think he's very distance orientated. He
very
knows,
defensively responsible.
And again, is there a possibility he gets Cheeto out? I mean, maybe. He's tough as nails, Cheeto.
Anyone else in the division that fights like Cheeto, he gets out of there.
Yeah. I'm gonna lean decision.
Yeah.
For Sugar. I am on the Sugar side.
Yes.
Maybe 4th, 5th round if you wanted to get a little brazy. If the numbers are looking crazy,
I bet him.
Yeah,
I bet Cheeto.
But man, I want Cheeto to win. I'm rooting for Cheeto. But unless he does something he normally doesn't do,
correct.
And
he's a slow starter,
which sucks.
Yeah, he gives away rounds. Him and Jan. That first round's gonna be boring as fuck when they fight.
Yeah,
not gonna do shit. They're gonna look at each other.
It's gonna be a free round for O'Malley. You're right. Then he just needs to bank 2 more and just play it safe.
Yeah,
that's
where the danger lies. But the thing is, I will say, if Cheeto can put some damage on his legs, to the body, don't go for his head. That's how you don't beat Sean. You beat Sean by going to the body, going to the legs. Because he's there to be hit. He is. I mean, he's a good counterpuncher, but yo, if you got a good chin. Lean on it. Lean on it a little bit here. It's a championship fight. I just see O'Malley. I agree with you. Just picking him apart, staying on the outside, and pointing him.
And I don't think O'Malley's the most powerful guy either. It's his precision
that makes him
nasty.
Correct. You know? He's big for the weight class too. To be fair,
like, I'm not going to completely rule out a KO, but you're right. I just see it. I see a decision here. If you're on the O'Malley side, I see a decision.
Cheeto's so durable, and then Cheeto, but by the way, makes good decisions. Like he's not dumb.
Yeah.
Like he's not a dumb fighter. The problem is he's a slow starter, a little flat-footed, which I don't like in this fight, obviously. And he just sometimes he only looks for that kill shot, which you shouldn't. He should go to the body and go to the legs in this fight. If he goes to the body and goes to the legs, he might stop him. Low key, he has 5 rounds to play. Yeah,
5-round fight is what makes this very interesting.
If this was a 3-round fight, I would feel even better about O'Malley. Because O'Malley would just keep him on the outside and Cheeto gives away rounds. But this is a 5-round fight. So unless O'Malley banks the first 2, if that line around the second, third round looks crazy on Cheeto, I might play it. Depending on how O'Malley looks and looking at Cheeto's success. So
yeah, this could be a live bet spot.
Yeah, 100%. But O'Malley's the lean. And I think you're there too.
And that's it for UFC 299. Top to bottom, bottom to top. Banger of a card. Fucking super hyped to watch this fight, to watch this card. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, this is one of the best cards of the year, hands down. So.
It's better than 300 in my opinion. It's going to be better than 300, arguably. So, yeah, I'm with you. But you guys already know the business. Like, comment, subscribe, follow Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody enjoying the visuals right now. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay up to date.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, you already know. And to jump back into that point, I think this card is a banger. This is one of our longer podcasts, guys, but I'm going to be honest with you, it's well worth it. It's good content. The way we broke down some of these fights, it's just a lot of these fights required attention.
Talking through this card, I felt like I wasn't going to like that many dogs. I actually liked more dogs than I thought.
Correct.
And I mean, I don't know if I'm going to commit. I still like this card in particular. I want to treat with kids gloves. I want to really nail this card.
I agree.
I might do even more tape than usual, but I mean, I feel good. Yeah,
I feel good about where we landed on some of these fights.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think this is one of the best cards of the year. It's going to be very hard for them to top this card.
I mean, 300 could do it, so
we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. But
it could be a whole bunch of stinkers in this motherfucker. Like on paper, it looks very good. But
correct.
We don't know.
I just see a lot of these fights. A lot of the guys on this card and gals are finishers. Well, not the gals so much, but the guys are finishers. So I love everything about this card. It's a very playable card. It's a very bettable card from an entertainment point and from a making money standpoint. So we're gonna do our best. We're gonna treat this with kids gloves and make sure you guys are in the best positions possible with your money. Because we want everyone to get paid on this shit. We want Vegas to get mad like they did during the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Because they lost out in the Super Bowl. So we're going to do it again on UFC 299. So we love y'all, man. What a good podcast, by the way. Phenomenal, brother. Straight up.
I mean, listen, man.
It's a good podcast.
Takes 2 to tango, my brother.
And I love that passion for you. We need that. Remember that video? More passion.
More passion.
We need more of that shit.
Hey, listen. It's been a long time since I felt very good about a particular spot.
Correct.
And then I just see all the online slander.
Oh,
I see all the talk.
MVP.
And I'm like, it gets my blood boiling. I'm not as active on Twitter as I should be. I promise I'm gonna get better at that. But I'm a lurker. I'm a lifetime lurker. Pause. That sounds a little crazy, but. Yeah. Hey, listen, I see everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the Watcher from Marvel. You know what I'm saying? What if? You feel me?
But love you guys. Don't forget AJ and Francis and Joe Parker Zhang is on Friday afternoon.
Yes.
This UFC 299 card is on Saturday. Banger weekend. Love you guys. Holla at ya. Peace.